Hey guys, I got some good news. Applications for the Canada Emergency Student Benefit are finally going to be open as of Friday, May 15th. Now, about a month ago, Trudeau announced this student benefit, and I even made a video on it here. And we talked about who's going to be eligible and how much students are going to be able to receive. However, Trudeau said that applications will begin at the beginning of May. Well, the beginning of May has come and gone, and there haven't been any applications that are open, and you guys have been flooding me with questions as to when the applications are going to start, and we finally got our answer. It's Friday, May 15th. We also got some more information as to the details of who can apply and when, so I'm going to get into that in this video. If you watch this video and you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments below, or I'm on Facebook at Nick's Taxes. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, if you get value out of this video, please let me know in the comments below and smash the like button, and consider subscribing as I'll be covering more issues like the benefits, so stay tuned. All right, let's jump right into it and we'll talk about eligibility and requirements.
All right, guys, so let's go over the basics real quick about the Canada Emergency Student Benefit. This benefit, the goal is to provide financial support to post-secondary students and recent post-secondary grads, as well as high school graduates who are unable to find work due to COVID-19. So this benefit is for students who do not qualify for either the CERB, the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, or employment insurance, which is EI. So from May to August of 2020, this emergency student benefit, I'm going to call it the CESB, provides payments to eligible students of either $1,250 every 4 weeks or $2,000 for each 4-week period. Okay, so the first question I want to cover is who can apply. So if you are able to work, you must be actively looking for work to be eligible to receive the CESB. If you still cannot find work due to COVID-19, you can apply for the CESB for the period that you're eligible for. This means that for every period, you're going to have to reapply, assuming that you haven't been able to find work. Also, as I've mentioned before, you cannot apply for the CESB if you have already applied for the CERB or for EI. So there are a few eligibility rules, and we'll go through them now. So in order to be eligible to get the CESB, you must meet the following criteria. First, you did not apply, receive, or qualify for the CERB or EI benefits for that same eligibility period. You must be either a Canadian citizen, a registered Indian, a permanent resident, or a protected person. Basically, you're filing taxes in Canada. You must be studying in Canada or abroad, and one of the following must apply to you. Either you are enrolled in a post-secondary educational program that's at least 12 weeks in duration that either leads to a degree, diploma, or certificate, or you could have completed or ended your post-secondary studies in December 2019 or later, or you completed or expect to complete high school, or received or expect to receive your high school equivalency in 2020 and have applied for a post-secondary educational program that starts before February 1st, 2021. Now you must meet one of the other following criteria, which is you are unable to work due to COVID-19, you are looking for but cannot find work due to COVID-19, or you are currently working during the COVID-19 pandemic, but your income from employment and self-employment has been $1,000 or less before taxes during that 4-week period you are applying for. So right now, the current eligibility period would be from May 10th to June 6th, 2020. Now, earlier I said that you could be eligible for $2,000 for each 4-week period, And to meet that, you must meet some other criteria. And that criteria is you either have a disability or you have at least one child under the age of 12 or other type of dependents. So, when it comes to verifying your eligibility, the CRA will verify your eligibility to receive the CESB after you've applied. The CRA may ask you to provide supporting documents to confirm your eligibility at a later date, so just beware of that. If we find, or the CRA finds that you are not eligible, the CRA will contact you to make arrangements to repay the amounts that you may owe. So what that means is if they find out that you are not eligible for that CESB, you're going to have to repay that money back. So the eligibility periods that we've talked about run from May to August. So period 1 goes from May 10th to June 6th. The next period goes from June 7th to July 4th. Period 3 is July 5th to August 1st. And then the last period is August 2nd to August 29th, 2020. So each eligibility period is a 4-week period with a specific start and end date. So when you apply, you will receive a payment for that specific eligibility period you applied for. So you can only apply for one period at a time. And if your situation continues where you can't find work or whatever your situation may be, you must reapply for that next 4-week eligibility period. So post-secondary students, the emergency benefit is available to eligible post-secondary students, graduates, and students who recently left their postgraduate studies. And you can start applying for the May 10th to June 6th eligibility period. You're going to be eligible for every period that we previously mentioned. Now, current graduating high school students, the CESB is only going to be available to those graduating high school students who completed or expect to complete their high school or high school equivalency in 2020 and have applied for a post-secondary education program that starts before February 1st. So if you finish high school after June 7th, 2020, which will be most people in Canada, you can only apply for 2 eligibility periods starting from the July 5th eligibility period. So once you determine that you are able to apply, the next question is, how do you apply? Well, applications open May 15th at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, and you must have filed a tax return in the past to make this application process easy. If you haven't filed a Canadian tax return before, you must call the CRA to register your SIN number before applying. You will not be able to apply for the CESB or set up a direct deposit until you make that call. Once you're all set up, either you filed a return in the past or you made the call to the CRA, you can apply and you'll be able to choose whether you want direct deposit or a paper check. Direct deposit payments may take up to 3 business days before the emergency benefit hits your bank account, whereas a paper check might take about 10 business days before it reaches your address. Applications open May 15th, but the application deadline for all benefits must be submitted before September 30th, 2020. In order to qualify for continuing payments, you must be able to prove that you are continuing to look for work, and then you must reapply for the CESB for every eligible period. So, what the CRA is saying is that you must be actively looking for a job to be eligible to receive this emergency fund benefit. The CRA may actually ask you to provide information later to verify that you've actually been looking for work during the eligibility periods. So it's important to keep track of your daily job search activities. And one of the things the CRA recommends is to register with the Government of Canada Job Bank It's an easy way to show that you're looking for work. Once you're registered, the job bank will notify you of current jobs available in your field and in your location, as well as jobs available in what's called the essential sectors. So you can use this job bank also to find tips to how to update your resume and explore career options. And by using this job bank, you can also keep track of your job search activities all in one place. So if you're actively looking and you're still, you don't have any luck, or let's say you do have a job but you're earning less than $10,000 gross, you'll still be able to reapply for the CESB for each period. Refer back to the CRA website to find out when you can apply for the upcoming periods. But for the first eligibility period, you can apply May 15th. So there might be some instances where you have to return the CESB. And those would be if you're able to find work that pays you more than $1,000 gross during the eligibility period that you've applied for. Or obviously if you applied for the CESB and later found that you weren't eligible for whatever reason that may be. Or in case of an error, you received more than you were entitled to. And in that case, you're going to have to contact the CRA regarding the benefit, and I'll provide more information on that in just a little bit. But the next thing I want to talk about is the tax implications. This emergency student benefit, like the CERB, is taxable, which means you will need to report any amounts you've received from the CESB on next year's tax return. So you're likely going to receive a T4A slip for the amount of the CESB you'll receive, and that'll be available to you in your CRA My account for 2020 tax year, or that slip might be mailed to you. Regardless, you're going to have to report that slip on your tax return. The only way we won't have to report that slip on the tax return is if you repay the CESB before December 31st, 2020. I talked about tax implications on the video regarding the Canada Emergency Response Benefit and how you can potentially plan for the taxes you might owe on this benefit. So I'm going to link that video here, and I'll also include it in the description below so you can go back to that video and find out how you can plan for your taxes or how much tax you might owe on this benefit. So if you need to return or repay the CESB, you can pretty much do it whatever option you got the money from. So if you got it by direct deposit, you can pay the money back via direct deposit from your bank. If you got it via check, you can return the check by mail. Just be sure to include the reason why you're returning the check and your social insurance number. Or you can cut a check and mail it back to the CESB Processing Center, and that's at the Sudbury Tax Center. I'll include that information in the description below for you guys to refer to. The other nice thing is that you can always call the CRA. Now, right now, they're quite busy, so the wait times might be quite long, but they are open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. local time. So they do have a lot of office hours if you ever need to call them regarding the CESB. And once again, I'll include that number in the description. And that is it. That is all about the Canada Emergency Student Benefit. If you have any more questions, or if you're concerned about whether or not you're going to be eligible, you can, let me know your questions or comments in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer all the questions you may have. But yeah, take a look at the CRA website, go through it, and try to make that determination and then apply. Now, all the best to you guys. Stay safe, wash your hands. Take care.